Soulja Boy is the first rapper I ever listened to on YouTube, and that's crazy to me because I don't even listen to him anymore. Crank That was the first song I ever downloaded and got a virus from how sick it was.
Soulja Boy, tell.
But not really. Like I did download some ransomware while trying to upload music onto my iPod back in 2009. So but that's a story for another day. If you read the title, you already know what you're getting yourself into. You've heard Soulja Boy say he was the first rapper to do everything. I don't know. But how deep does that rabbit hole really go? Did Soulja Boy really discover America before Christopher Columbus? Was Soulja Boy the first rapper to ever comb over his hairline? Did he really invent Logan Paul? And if so, are we allowed to, him for that?
Soulja Boy, tell.
Whether you like it or not, Soulja Boy is one of the most influential rappers of all time. And although he's looked at as more of a joke, I think it's worth exploring what exactly he brought to the table. Soulja Boy was the first rapper to take over the internet, and in doing so, he kind of set the standard for what came after. Everything from the Harlem Shake to rappers now appearing on live streams can all be attributed back to Soulja Boy. So today, we're going to be doing a deep dive into everything Soulja Boy has claimed to have done first, and prove whether or not these claims are actually true. Before we get into everything, I don't know how much structure this video. I'm probably gonna have like a counter on the bottom right. I haven't counted it yet, so you don't have to look at it all the time. Just know that if it does go up, that means he did it first, and if he didn't, then I don't know. I'll put like a debunk meter or something. I don't know. I'm gonna be real with you. Most of these are for fun. It's not that serious. Half of these just don't even make sense. It's just a crazy rabbit hole that I don't think's ever been fully explored yet. Some of these might be controversial, some of these might be insane lore dumps, some of these just wouldn't even make sense for a rapper to do. So, if all that interests you, just stick around till the end, because who knows? Maybe you'll be surprised that Soulja Boy was the first rapper to do your favorite thing.
I was the first person to.
Man, stop playing with me. What? I'm the first to do all type. I'm the first. I'm the first.
DeAndre Cortez Way first started uploading music onto SoundClick, which was almost like a mix of SoundCloud and Facebook, but primarily used by underground bands and producers. Soulja Boy wasn't the first rapper there, nor was he the first to gain a buzz, but he was consistent, uploading over 30 songs in his first 2 months before finally gaining traction with Doodoo Head and I got me some bathing apes. His lyrics weren't captivating, nor were they really that good, but he was able to market himself really well, coming up with signature catchphrases like Soulja Boy, tell him, and Superman that hoe. On top of that, he was a pretty good producer, making his own beats off a demo version of Fruity Loops, or what is now known as FL Studio. Although he wasn't the first rapper to use FL Studio, he was one of the few that also rapped, giving him a slight advantage over other rappers who had to constantly search for the right beats.
I found this software called FL Studio, and I made my first beat at the crib. It was alright. It wasn't all that, but it was straight enough to rap on. So after I did that, I got better and better over the years. I dropped my first album, SouljaBoyTellHim.com, and went platinum. I produced 90% of the album.
Soulja Boy was also an early adopter of the modern internet, opening up a MySpace page along with his own website that redirected you back to his MySpace page. It may not seem like it now, but MySpace was the social media back then, and what set it apart was its focus on music, allowing you to be friends with your favorite artists. If you've never used MySpace before, you've still probably heard songs from artists who came up on there. Calvin Harris, the Arctic Monkeys, Sean Kingston, Owl City, Adele, and the list kind of goes on. But you notice how I haven't named any rappers yet? Well, that's because there really weren't any. While other newcomers were still out hustling CDs and mixtapes in the streets, Soulja Boy was the first rapper to really take advantage of everything the internet had to offer. He uploaded his first YouTube video on March 15th of 2006. And back then, YouTube had no structure. You were either going to watch some cat videos or be permanently scarred by this road. there was rarely any music, and when there was, it was either a re upload of a song posted by a fan, someone singing a cover of that song, or it being parodied by the biggest YouTubers at that time.
Lesson 5. A true gangster knows how to rap.
Soulja Boy didn't post any of his music onto YouTube yet, instead sticking with MySpace where he built quite a loyal following. Although Soulja Boy likes to credit himself for making the first viral dance, I'll argue that Lean With It Rock With It, the dance by them Franchise Boys, took off just slightly before that. But if we're talking solely through YouTube, Soulja Boy definitely broke that barrier. The Crank That Dance remix was Soulja Boy's first go at starting a viral dance craze, asking his MySpace friends to post themselves cranking that. The original Crank That is completely different from the one you know now, but it did serve its purpose, quickly becoming his most popular release. And it's what started getting him booked at the young age of 16. In May of 2007, Soulja Boy became the first rapper to get signed off the internet onto a major label, opening the doors for almost every new rapper out there. Jimmy Iovine didn't even believe he was selling out concerts at first. That was until Soulja Boy pulled out his MySpace and YouTube, proving just how popular he was. It was a major risk at the time, both in terms of sales and because he was a teenager. A month before signing to Interscope, Soulja Boy uploaded his first viral video of the Crank That Dance, which now sits at over 21 million views. He then premiered the music video on BET. Soulja Boy took the stage, and he got everyone to start cranking that. And I do mean everyone. The adults, the kids, there were rappers in the crowd doing it themselves. And while this boosted its initial popularity, the internet was far more reaching, with everyone and their moms uploading a video of themselves cranking that. It was the first song I remember actively hearing across YouTube, whether it be watching someone dance to it, other YouTubers referencing it in their videos. There was even like RuneScape parodies of it. You couldn't escape Soulja Boy during this era. I remember there being a video going viral of the cast of iCarly, The Sweet Life on Deck, and Kiki Palmer all doing the dance. Natalie Portman was being taught how to do it on live TV. The 2008 US Olympic team would warm up to it every game. Bro, if you ever went to a middle school dance, you know how popular this song is, okay? But if you've ever uploaded a video of yourself doing it, don't let the Crank That Killer find out.
You heard anything about this Crank That Killer stuff?
Are you serious? Of course I have. You are not safe, man. I don't care who you are. You gotta crank that video out there. You better watch your back.
Crank That proved YouTube could be just as good of a platform as traditional media. And while it wasn't the first video to generate income, he was the first rapper to monetize his channel, allowing other rappers and people like myself to start looking at this as a real career opportunity. In a way, Soulja Boy was the first real digital hustler. He'd upload videos of himself almost every day, whether it be dance tutorials, vlogs, fan meetups, him performing at shows. He saw what others didn't at the time, and that was the rise of social media.
I basically invented YouTube.
Yeah, definitely.
Crank That was the most popular song ever released on MySpace, and because of that, Soulja Boy was among the top 10 most friended accounts on there, so he was able to push his music almost everywhere. He became the first rapper to reach 10 million views on a music video. He then topped the iTunes charts for almost 2 months, becoming the first rapper to get over 3 million digital downloads on a song. You could even buy it on Fortnite for 500 V-Bucks now.
Stay focused on Fortnite, man, you know what I'm saying? Build, get a lot of materials, get a good team. The way to get a dub is get a good team, that's all you need.
While all that sounds good, he did make one crucial mistake. Before there was Spotify or Apple Music, you only had a few real options to listen to music. You either had to pray the radio station played it, see if your favorite record store had it, or you could do it all as poor people did, illegally download it from the internet.
Don't tell me what to do.
LimeWire, FrostWire, Napster, BitTorrent, it didn't matter what you used, because by the year 2008, 95% of all digitally downloaded music was illegally torrented somewhere. And weirdly enough, Soulja Boy took advantage of this.
I upload Crank That to LimeWire, and I title it 50 Cent in the Club. Britney Spears, wooty wooty woo. Eminem, do da 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 da.
He'd spam forum boards with Crank That, and instead of releasing them under his own name, he'd upload them under popular titles like 50 Cent's In the Club or Toxic by Britney Spears. And when people went to play these songs, they were tricked into hearing Soulja Boy basically clickbaited everybody before clickbaiting was even really a thing. And because he kept saying
Soulja Boy, tell.
the word Soulja Boy lyrics became one of the most searched topics on Google by October of 2007. In 2018, the rapper Comethazine used this exact same tactic on SoundCloud with the song Bands. And funny enough, when LimeWire made its return in 2022, they used Soulja Boy to promote them.
Shit, I probably was the first rapper on LimeWire too.
Now, if most of your music is being illegally downloaded and you're not releasing traditional media like albums or CDs, then how are you making your money? Turns out, ringtones. Crank That is the third most downloaded ringtone rap song of all time. He was netting an estimated $100,000 off ringtones every month, and it's not including the $10,000 he was making off SoundClick every day, or the money coming in from his YouTube, his MySpace, his iTunes, his tours. And here's the thing. While it looks obvious right now, not even music labels were caught up to the power of the internet yet. Side note, but the ringtone thing was smart as fuck. If you downloaded it, he'd be able to put your name on a contact list, and with this, he was one of the earliest adopters of releasing your music through text. He wasn't the first though. That actually goes to Mike Jones, who was the first rapper to put his phone number on a song as a marketing strategy with his hit back then. Soulja Boy took inspiration from that, and that's how we got Soulja Boy showed everybody that you could be an ordinary teenager posting your music on YouTube one day, and then a multimillionaire by the next month. You didn't need a recording studio or crazy expensive recording equipment to get a #1 song. In fact, Soulja Boy was the first and youngest rapper to write, record, and produce his own Grammy-nominated song using only a demo version of FL Studio, simultaneously also making him the first rapper to get a #1 song using only FL Studio. He was also the first rapper to go viral out of his own bedroom. And why this is so important is because it meant anyone with the right vision for their video could go viral, whether it be outside your home or in the streets of Indonesia. You didn't need to build a set or hire a whole team. Just grab a few friends, grab a cameraman, and who knows, maybe you'll go viral. This one song changed the history of music video marketing forever. Instead of releasing them onto channels like MTV or VH1, they saw YouTube as a potential distributor. That's why when you click on a lot of these old music videos, most of them were released sometime around 2009, even if the music video itself was released years earlier. On top of that, Soulja Boy was the first rapper to ever use dancing as a marketing tool. He wasn't the first rapper to invent a dance move, rather he was the first to ask his fans to start uploading videos of themselves dancing to his music. And while that's normalized nowadays, given that we have TikTok, this wasn't the case back then. Soulja Boy pioneered the idea of making a dance move go viral in order to make a hit song. Think about it like this. A lot of rappers nowadays have benefited from their own iconic dances, whether intentional or not. For example, Shiggy starting the In My Feelings challenge led to its massive popularity where everyone started posting videos of themselves doing the challenge, leading to a whole array of countries banning it, which you can learn more about over here. But again, those videos were the reason why it became so popular. Then during quarantine, Drake released Tootsie Slide, cashing in on the newest era of dance crazes on TikTok, and it's one of the few songs where he directly tells you how to dance to it. Both of these ways that Drake's song went viral were due to the blueprint Soulja Boy put out when it came to using dancing as a marketing tool.
I created TikTok. It wouldn't be no TikTok if it weren't for Soulja Boy.
Okay.
Look at these dances. This is a great way to make money. Kids dancing to a song.
Did you tell him
Can I get my 10% TikTok?
Yeah.
The most followed accounts on TikTok today aren't politicians, nor are they doctors, lawyers, engineers. They're just young kids who are dancing to music. And that formula, whether they knew it or not, stemmed from Soulja Boy's fans uploading videos of themselves doing the Crank That challenge. Due to the popularity of these videos, a ton of new dance moves were being reintroduced back into hip-hop. The SpongeBob, the jerk, the Dougie, the stanky leg. Bro, if you wanted to dab and then hit the quan or, the floss, and then do a little shoot dance right after, maybe a little nay nay, and then finish it off with the renegade. You could do that on Fortnite now, so there's that. But the Nexus point, the idea of where all this stemmed from was from Crank That, and how hundreds, if not thousands of people had gone viral for uploading videos themselves dancing to it. Bottom line, Soulja Boy was the first viral rapper. If you think about everyone that's come after, whether it be 6ix9ine, Blueface, Bobby Shmurda, Wiz Khalifa, Mac Miller, Ice Spice, dude, all of these rappers who got their start on the internet have Soulja Boy to thank for pioneering that vision. If you think about parody culture, Soulja Boy was the first rapper to be like memed across YouTube. People often dressed up as him, used his catchphrases, used snippets of his song, and all of this became the first instance of using meme culture to promote your videos. Do you remember how Yeet blew up because of that bell? Or like OG Mako blowing up because of Vine? That type of meme promotion really started with everyone making fun of Crank That.
Shinji, crank that, Soulja Boy.
Sodas, boys, let's get 'em. Watch me crack it, watch it roll. Watch me crack a soda, boy, aluminum can. It's Mountain Dew, crack a soda, boy.
Pour milk in that bowl. Pour milk in that bowl. Pour milk in that bowl. Pour milk in that bowl.
From mid 2007 to around late 2008, there was a trend of people sampling Crank That in like various ways, either using the beat or bits in the chorus. They'd always name it something like Crank That Naruto or Crank That Batman, but the most popular out of these became Crank That Spider-Man, sitting at over 11 million views today. What's interesting is that most of these remixes weren't treated like parodies. It became kind of like its own subsection of YouTube at that time, a sole category dedicated to remixing Crank That. And each remix had its own dance, they had their own memes, they had their own fan bases on social media. People were deadass picking sides over this.
We don't Superman no more. We just Spider-Man. Now watch me. Bring the Spider-Man. Bring the Spider-Man.
With all the hype surrounding his name, Soulja Boy released the album SouljaBoyTellHim.com. And well, let's just say it's a product of its era. Donk, Babes, they brought me back to elementary school, I guess. I mean, I feel like I was on the school bus. I had that Ratatouille moment, you know? But I'm probably not going to listen to this ever again. I don't really hate it, but there's not much to like, I mean, really enjoy about it in the year 2025. I mean, other than if you're feeling nostalgic, I guess.
And after listening to that piece of shit album, which is basically a piece of shit, that's what it is, I've come to the terms that that album is nothing more than a piece of shit.
Yeah, that's Soulja Boy, best rapper alive. On God, he's the best. Ice-T, stop hating, okay? Just cause you acting now. Soulja Boy took over. How's that make you feel?
While this album didn't break any barriers, the name of it was the first of its kind. It led you to a functional website where you get the latest scoop on all things Soulja Boy, watch exclusive videos of him, discuss topics with the other 250,000 Soulja Boy Tell 'em homies, or you could just buy some Soulja Girl underwear for your significant other. I am sure that would win her over. Slight tangent, but in 2009, some random woman started going crazy on the train talking about Soulja Boy and like whatever. And then she approaches some dude way too close, and then he just like attacks her. And then she starts saying, "I'm gonna press charges," like a million times. She was dubbed Soulja Girl and was later arrested for assault and disorderly conduct. Now, can you guess what city she's from?
Crank that Soulja Girl off in that hoe. Watch it crank it, watch it roll. Why me crank that Soulja Girl, that Superman, that hoe, now watch me go. Yeah, nigga, yeah, get out my face. Yeah, yeah, yeah. If it ain't hit me, I'm pressing charges. I'm pressing charges. I'm pressing charges. I'm pressing charges. What's your name? I'm pressing charges. I'm pressing charges. I'm pressing charges.
Also, he had quite a few other websites. Notably, one of them was for exclusive behind the scenes footage of him interviewing. Yeah, I mean, they were just kind of like shooting the shit, honestly. But it was with people like Usher, Sean Kingston, Chris Brown. It was kind of like a prelude to those old videos of rappers interviewing each other on like Noisy, or kind of like Lil Yachty's boring ass podcast. He might have been the first rapper to really start that wave online. However, Soulja Boy was not the first rapper with his own website. That title would actually go to the rapper Cannabis, who, interestingly enough, studied computer science at a community college. While he was enlisted in the army, Cannabis started the website MikeClub.net, and although all he wanted to do was stay connected to his fans while serving, he unintentionally became the first rapper to promote his music through his own website. From the years 2007 to around 2010, Soulja Boy just kept on making bangers. Kiss Me Through the Phone, Pretty Boy Swag, Gucci Bandana. I mean, bro, Turn My Swag On got a remix from Lil Wayne. It's undeniable that at the peak of his career, Soulja Boy could have been considered one of the biggest rappers on the planet. But let's be honest. Name one album that he made after 2010. Exactly, right? We're not here for Soulja Boy's music. You're here to see that number on the bottom right corner shoot up. So, let's get to the claims. In the early 2010s, one word dominated the game more than any other, and it's a term I still use to this day. Swag was my generation's version of Riz. You either had swag or you didn't. I did not. I do, however, remember buying a Chicago Bulls snapback to replicate those Filipinos who would bite their lips with the caption, "Swag, something we Asians got." I'm not even Filipino. I just thought that's what everyone was doing at the time. Do you guys remember this era when swag was more important than oxygen? When you didn't need condoms, all you needed was some swag? Good grades? Nah, I got swag. Although Jay-Z claims to have invented swag, I'd argue that it was because of Soulja Boy that swag officially hit the mainstream, and why it's become so ingrained in meme culture. But I can't in good faith say he was the first rapper to use the word swag, so I'll do a cheeky little maneuver and say that he was the first rapper to fully embrace the swag culture. He deadass covered his face with the word swag on it for the cover of Vibe magazine's first digital print. So I will give him points for that, for, basically starting that whole era. Before we get into the really strange claims, I'd like to look into how Soulja Boy influenced other rappers. A$AP Rocky has directly claimed that without Soulja Boy, there would be no A$AP Rocky. But he also claimed that rap has become more immature because of Soulja Boy, which, I mean, I gotta agree with, but it's very hypocritical of him to claim both. After being arrested and while on an interview from prison, TK said that Soulja Boy was his favorite rapper, and that he hopes to one day get signed to his label.
If you know what I'm saying? Like, what's one artist that you would fuck with if you got out of jail and they was trying to sign you?
If they were trying to sign me?
Yeah. What's one artist that you would fuck with immediately?
Soulja Boy.
Soulja Boy?
Yeah, he my favorite rapper on the set.
Oh man, that's love, bro. Cause I mean, niggas don't give Soulja Boy his credit for what he did for rap.
Nah, that nigga go hard on my mom.
One thing that caught me completely off guard was Soulja Boy's influence on Justin Bieber in the early 2010s. Being the only two teenagers to have amassed internet stardom by then, the two shared a lot in common, especially their ideal choice of drugs. I wanted to save this for a different video, but the reason Activist is no longer a brand anymore is solely because of Justin Bieber. I'm not sure if it was Sean Kingston or Soulja Boy or somebody else who introduced him to that, but both of them have shared a story about drinking lean with Justin. Judging from how often they hung out and the time periods they were seen together, I don't think it's really wrong to assume that Soulja Boy had a huge influence on Justin's swag era. I can't really count that towards anything, but what I can do is say that Soulja Boy was the first rapper to release his own brand of fake lean, called Soulja Lean. So, I mean, I guess there's that.
A lot of people blame you and Justin Bieber for the reason that Activist is no longer on the shelves. They said that y'all made it mainstream.
We did. My bad.
Now, we all know that Drake stole Soulja Boy's flow to get to where he is today. But did you know that the Migos stole Soulja Boy's beat to get to where they are now? That's right, the beat for Versace was originally given to Soulja Boy in 2011 for the song OMG Part 2. And well, let's just say Zaytoven made the right call. Before they got their big break, Soulja Boy housed them in LA, even releasing a few music videos together, and you can even see Soulja Boy in the background of the Versace video.
I was the first artist in LA to rock with them. The first time they flew to Los Angeles, California, 2012, they came to my house. They came to my house for the first time, recorded at my house. Quavo met Travis Scott at my house. Quavo didn't know who Travis Scott was. He was like, who this little weird nigga is on the couch? I'm like, bro, that's Kanye West artist. Boy, you better get in tune. That's Travis Scott. And fast forward to the day, we got Huncho, Cactus Jack, whatever, the collab album. That wouldn't happen without me.
On top of bringing Huncho Jack together, Soulja Boy was one of the earliest rappers to have worked with Famous Dex, Rich the Kid, Mozzie, Riff Raff, Lil B, Lil Durk, and Chief Keef. Over the years, he's often implied or downright claimed he put most of these rappers on, and while it's true that he collaborated with them before they got signed, it's not like he picked them up off the street. Most of them already had a local buzz, and Soulja Boy, like he always kind of does, simply capitalized on that early on. If anything, he just has an ear to the ground when it comes to finding new up-and-coming artists. He was one of the first few rappers to have shouted out both The Weeknd and Tyler the Creator. And with a platform as large as his, it really did help all of them get a boost. If you ask Kanye West, Drake, T-Pain, Meek Mill, Jay Electronica, or Juicy J who they think of as a genius, Kanye will say himself, but the rest might tell you that it's actually Soulja Boy. And I might have to agree. Besides being called the first internet rapper, a lot of networking happened entirely through Soulja Boy's home in LA. The Migos met Travis Scott, Playboi Carti met Rich the Kid, Jay Critch met Famous Dex. It's where Doughboy met Future. Surprisingly enough, you can also find Soulja Boy with Young Thug in the music video for Lifestyle. It's safe to say that he was well connected. But in order not stat pad, I'm gonna put an umbrella term on everything he's done for music as him being the internet's first rap veteran.
Soulja Boy's been doing the same thing too with mixtapes, and now he just marked down the price of his album on MySpace to what was it, $2.99 now he's selling it for. So
Soulja Boy is the smartest artist of our generation, I think, period. And I mean out of anybody. Whoever it is, I mean, whether it's him or his team around him, whoever has the thoughts to do the things he does is genius. And man, I'm just so happy for him, man. That's my dude. I actually met him really for the first time the other night. We were playing UFC, which he can't see me in, by the way. And yeah, it's great to meet him and really realize, like, oh man, this kid is real cool, man. So I'm definitely a big Soulja Boy fan. I'm excited and honored to be on the same.
Although he's widely respected in the industry for what he's accomplished, not everyone likes him. Soulja Boy is one of the most hated rappers of all time, basically. But that's only because he did it to himself. We'll get into more of that later on, but for now, just know that this man has gotten into more beefs than we just have time for. He's publicly feuded with Sway Lee, Tyga, 50 Cent, Lil Yachty, Kanye West, Drake, Joe Budden, Bow Wow, Quavo, Shia LaBeouf, Space Ghost Perp, A$AP Rocky, Kodak Black, Chief Keef, 21 Savage, NBA Youngboy, Blueface, Metro Boomin, Marlon Wayans, the video game company Atari. Dude, okay, we'll just call it even and say Soulja Boy is the first rapper to beef with every other human being alive. And let's call it why it is. Soulja Boy is one of the most narcissistic people in all of hip-hop. I mean, the title of the video is literally just everything Soulja Boy did first, and it's 2 hours, and it's like half of them don't even make sense, and we'll get into it later on. But, you know, that's what comes with being a genius. But being so young, breaking so many barriers, it kind of gets to your head. And for some reason, he kind of thinks everyone owes him a favor because of it.
Look at me and Migos. Look at me and Rich the Kid. Look at me and Mozzie. Look at me and Lil B. Look at me and Riff Raff. Look at me and Famous Dex. How many rapper niggas I done worked with before they got popping, before they got their record deals? I do songs with all these niggas before they get famous. Then once these niggas get famous, I can't even get a song from these niggas no more. That's crazy. But when y'all niggas was in the hood and ain't nobody know who the fuck y'all was, I was doing songs with y'all niggas. Chief Keef, Lil Durk, Migos, Famous Dex, Rich the Kid.
What I will say is that Soulja Boy did popularize rappers using beef as a means to promote their music. You know, 6ix9ine, Lil Durk, Drake with Meek Mill, all that trolling shit really started with Soulja Boy making fun of Ice-T. Ice-T called him out for ruining hip-hop, and to be fair, Soulja Boy started the singles era, where rappers started switching to dropping singles instead of full albums or mixtapes in order to find success on YouTube. Soulja Boy responded with a now infamous video calling him old, washed, just trolling him and basically not taking it too seriously. He then started posting animations of him, memes of him on MySpace, his fans started making fun of him, and basically Ice-T was in the wrong. He just didn't realize that this was the birth of the next generation. And to be fair, he did own up to it on an episode of Drink Champs.
This nigga Ice-T old as this nigga old enough to be my great grandfather. He's the forefather of my nuts, nigga. This nigga was born, man. Hey, we Wikipedia this nigga. This nigga was born in 1958. This nigga this nigga somebody from the West Coast. This nigga, you was born in New Jersey, dog. For real. Like, real talk, dog.
I completely forgot to mention this, but all of this was parodied on an episode of The Boondocks.
I want to say that I'm a huge fan of Thug Nifson. I grew up listening to Thug Nifson. Matter of fact, I'd even go ahead as far to say that I love this nigga, no homo. He was one of the real niggas that made me want to do this shit. But this old ass nigga, man. This old nigga is old enough to be my dad, and he tell me to eat a nigga, what's wrong with you? You a grown ass man, and you telling a 15-year-old to eat a
Without Soulja Boy, I'm so serious, half of the SoundCloud rappers you know wouldn't exist. He is one of the earliest adopters of mumble rap, along with Young Thug, Future, and Chief Keef, who were all kind of hanging out together back then. Soulja Boy did steal the Chicago drill sound for a bit back in 2012, but hey, I mean, he gave it the eyes it needed for what it became today. Would it also blow your mind to know that before Playboi Carti or Lil Tracy started rapping about being a vampire, Soulja Boy did it first?
Vampire gang, vampire gang.
Soulja Boy has a label, Stacks on Deck Entertainment. Name one artist you know from there that's not this dog. Yeah, exactly. He's not particularly keen on letting any of his artists shine. I mean, if TK signed to him in jail, I don't think he'd even be allowed a phone in there. We're not counting Lil B, that half a year just didn't count, but we'll be lenient and say he signed Riff Raff on a full-time deal. According to Riff Raff, he was treated poorly, told he wouldn't be promoted, and they weren't even helping him make music. Before knowing they even had a problem, Soulja Boy tweeted a bunch of hateful stuff towards Riff Raff, and effectively ended their relationship out of nowhere, just because Riff Raff was getting a bit more popular than him. A lot of other artists from his label have spoken out against him, primarily because of disputes with royalties, promotions, and according to some, he doesn't even let them onto the tour bus. Even Skinny from the Nine, who got signed to him back in 2021, said he got a $0 advance from his label, and they've only released about 2, maybe 3 songs together during these last 4 years, so just know that it's no one's fault but Soulja Boy's as to why he's so isolated in the music industry. We'll get into the more disturbing details later on, but for now, just know that a living legend can also be a piece of shit. Also, he tends to sign some of the worst artists out there. Riff Raff was accused by multiple women of having assaulted them. Some of their artists don't even show up to paid concerts. One of them was involved in a crypto scam recently, like he signed some of the worst people out there. 2 dudes from his label robbed a fan at a motel for not knowing the name of a Soulja Boy song. Well, I wouldn't know it either. And they were stupid, actually I would know a few, and they were stupid enough to film it and post it on YouTube, which got them arrested. The fan who did get beat up eventually made a diss track against them while they were still in jail, but that's since been removed off YouTube. It's a pretty wacky story all around. Was Soulja Boy the first rapper to intentionally destroy his own label through sheer ignorance? Possibly. But was he also the first rapper to beat Super Hot Fire in a rap battle? You bet. Oh my god. You guys know how it is. Let's get back to the weird stuff. Soulja Boy is the first rapper to ever beef with the US Army, releasing a song called Let's Be Real, F the Troops. If US soldiers were posting videos of themselves cranking that after bombing a bunch of civilian homes and stealing their gold and oil and like everything else, I too would be kind of pissed off. But since this is America, fuck yeah, everyone got mad at Soulja Boy and they started boycotting his music.
Let me tell you something, Soulja Boy!
Leading to him being the first rapper to ever apologize to the US Army after getting into a beef with them. Have you ever wanted to get an apology from Kanye West? You probably couldn't get one nowadays, given that, he thinks he's the Antichrist or something. What the fuck's going on with him? But in 2021, there was a slight chance that if you were a rapper, you could get an apology from him. Soulja Boy claims to be the first rapper to get an apology from Kanye after being left off Donda. But that simply wasn't the case. Kanye apologized to Mace a year earlier, saying it was a bad decision to tell him not to leave his rap career behind to follow God, with the irony of that sentence totally being lost today. During their short feud, Soulja Boy said he was the first rapper with Kim Kardashian. And I don't even have to search this up to know that this is not true. Get your mind out of the gutter, it's not Ray J. The first rapper she was actually with was Nick Cannon. And the only reason I know this is because Kanye went on that weird ass rant on the train tracks one day.
First of all, I want to address Nick Cannon. Like, I understand that you used to date my wife, but you get in an interview, don't mention my wife. If someone brings my wife up, you say, hey, I respect that man, I'm not speaking on that. Don't be making no suggestions like nobody my wife. Now, the next thing is with Drake. Yeah, I told you that if I wasn't in a medicated state, I might have had the thoughts to, hold on, this train going by.
With the rise of influencer boxing, it was inevitable that some rapper would pick up the gloves. And unfortunately for all of us, all we've gotten so far are some mediocre Blueface matches and YK Osiris getting himself knocked out. Most of the credit does go to KSI and Joe Weller for starting this wave, but it shouldn't be underestimated how much of a factor Soulja Boy played into this. In 2017, Soulja Boy and Chris Brown got into some beef over Chris Brown's ex. Soulja Boy then brought up Rihanna, Chris Brown called him a fake blood, and things escalated into a potential boxing match between the two, with Floyd Mayweather acting as a potential promoter. Mike Tyson even came out of retirement to drop a diss track on Soulja Boy and say he was going to train Chris Brown. It was really something we hadn't really seen before, which is probably why it got so big in the first place.
Soulja Boy, what you talking about? Only thing I'm gonna teach him to bite somebody's ear. Yeah, that's right. I'm gonna teach him every dirty trick in the book to knock you out, because I'm not gonna teach him how to run.
After firing back with his own diss track, Soulja Boy told Chris Brown to pull up in some random hood. And after arriving there alone, some random dude just casually jumped Soulja Boy, apparently robbing him, all while this was being recorded on Instagram Live.
Those ain't from the hood. Get off me though. Get off me though.
What's happening, bro? What you want to do?
Hold on. What's up, man? Who phone is this?
My brother phone. That's my phone, nigga. That's my phone.
Watch
That's
it.
my phone.
All right.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it better not be blood on froze, nigga. Like I said. Bro.
With Mike Tyson training Chris Brown, Soulja Boy asked Floyd Mayweather to train him. And for about a month, it really did seem like things were going to happen. However, Chris Brown and Soulja Boy worked things out behind the scenes, with Chris Brown bowing out of the fight. And even if they were to fight, they still wouldn't have been the first rappers to go against each other in the ring. In 2002, the rappers Sticky Fingers and Vanilla Ice became the first rappers to put on a celebrity boxing match. Period. Like they fought on the first episode of Celebrity Boxing. Also, just a random fun fact, Sticky Fingers went to my old high school, and he was in a gang known as the Decepticons. But if you want to learn more about that, I'd highly recommend checking out my video about all the crimes committed at my former high school. But anyway, no. Soulja Boy might have started the wave, but he wouldn't have been the first rapper to box in the ring. Now, being one of the earliest adopters to harness the power of social media, Soulja Boy took advantage of whatever platform was available. He was the first rapper on YouTube, the first rapper to blow up on MySpace, the first rapper to be verified on Cash App, and surprisingly, the first rapper on Instagram, along with being the first rapper to get verified on there. He's also claimed to be the first rapper on both Vine and Tumblr. But after going through the archives, it seems that Tyler, the Creator, was on there just months before him. So he wasn't the first rapper on every platform. I don't know if you guys remember this, but there used to be something called Google+. It died out, but somehow Soulja Boy was one of the most followed accounts on there, with Google even inviting him out to receive a pair of Google glasses, making him the first rapper to own a pair of them. Soulja Boy is also the first rapper to write his own Wikipedia article, which was first published in 2006. You can tell it was written by him because he wrote, Soulja Boy raised money by his own studio. After being taught by Young Quan on how to produce, Soulja Boy started to do snap tracks even more and better. Lastly, his Twitter. One random night, Lil B tweeted out, Wiz Khalifa was the first rapper I seen on Twitter. This was during MySpace. He was already huge on Twitter. Lil B. The very next morning, the first thing Soulja Boy tweets out is, check the dates. It's true, Soulja Boy joined Twitter before Wiz Khalifa did, and that is 100% fair to say. But was he the first rapper on there? No. After doing my own research and not relying on some garbage ass AI, I found that Snoop Dogg was actually the first rapper on Twitter. He predates Soulja Boy's join date by about a year and a half, and his first tweet was made months before Soulja Boy had even joined. So think again before you come disrespecting the based god. However, there are a few things Soulja Boy did first on Twitter, including being the first rapper to get 1 million likes on a tweet, the first rapper to host a Twitter space, the first rapper with a tip jar, the first rapper on Twitter to get subs, the first rapper to tweet from an iPad, the first rapper to sell a tweet as an NFT, and the first rapper to get a like from Playboi Carti. Most interestingly, Soulja Boy created Nicki Minaj's Twitter account, and he was the first person Nicki followed on there. In a very interesting technicality, even though it lasted for about 7 minutes, Soulja Boy and Nicki Minaj were the first huge rap collaborators to have live streams together. Before there was Instagram Live, before we saw rappers regularly go on streams, this was the first time two big rappers ever really streamed together.
Yo, we are stupid.
Soulja Boy used to actively browse through a lot of internet forums back in the day, most notably Something Awful and Newgrounds. He started hiring a few artists and animators from there to start making his own webcomics and web cartoons, becoming the first rapper to do either. Granted, there was the Class of 3000 and the Insane Clown Posse comics, but there was a slight difference in what he was doing. Webcomics and web cartoons are somewhat different in that they're usually posted online. They're much shorter, and they're kind of like modern day comic strips in a way.
Hey man, what it do? This your boy Soulja Boy Tell 'em, aka the world's youngest platinum rapper, broadcasting live from the biggest waste of time there is, high school. And right there, man, that's my teacher. Look at her. Fine ass Miss Gina. As good as she looks, man, you think I'd be a straight A student. That's Principal Collenbeck. He's got a PhD in hating.
Soulja Boy, turn that thing off. What did I tell you about blogging
Man,
for
you know you
school?
can't afford this.
Soulja Boy has always been in tune with the culture. He's the first rapper to have reviewed the manga version of Death Note, the first rapper to have watched Beyblade, the first rapper to have broke through the Matrix, the first rapper to have been endorsed by a poker company before sites like Stake started sponsoring Drake, the first rapper to have photobombed Kobe Bryant, and the first rapper to have bought a Supreme iPhone charger. He was also the first rapper to have been shot on his 26th birthday party, which I know is a very specific thing, but the rapper Julio Fulio was also shot and killed on his 26th birthday party, so I know that's pretty gruesome and all, but when you're doing what Julio Fulio was doing, what do you really expect?
I was the first rapper on Bape, period.
Soulja Boy believes that he was the first rapper to wear Bape, and no, that's just not the case. There's pictures of Biggie Smalls wearing Bape back in 1996. I personally remember the first time seeing a rapper wear Bape was on Lil Wayne. Obviously, there's also Kanye's Bapestas. Pharrell's like basically best friends with the founder. They even started their own company together, Billionaire Boys Club, I think. I'm pretty sure even Robin Williams was wearing Bape before Soulja Boy. But if we're gonna give him credit for anything, he did popularize it for the next generation and was the first rapper to dedicate a song entirely about wearing bathing apes. Soulja Boy also claims to be the first rapper to have his own clothing brand be sold in stores. And again, no. I'm pretty sure that goes to Run DMC. If not, it's not like Rockaware and Sean John weren't already established brands by then. I know P. Diddy, okay? Alright. I'm just talking about brands, okay? However, I will give him credit for starting the brands Boulevard Supply and Ocean Gang. both of which made their ways into stores like Zoomies and Tilly's. But to say he was the first rapper with his own brand of merch is just simply untrue.
Yes, sir. You know what the f going on, nigga? Big Draco, nigga. First rapper with 2 stoves, nigga. Check it out. Nigga, I got a stove across the street from another stove. We done upgraded to 200 square feet, 2,000 square feet. You know what the fuck going on? Nigga can do it. Stacks on deck, money game, no sense.
Feeling like a new man with this haircut. I'm trying to fuck you and your friend with this haircut. So Mama said he want a brand for this haircut. What nigga, I ain't paying for this haircut at all.
The first rapper to get his haircut in the hood, in the Sprinter, on the side of the road. Y'all niggas pussy.
Soulja Boy also claimed to be the first rapper with his own supply of shoes.
He got nieces, nephews, something.
You know what would happen if I wore these?
What happened?
Huh?
You gonna take a picture?
They'll tear me apart in here.
You gotta put them in the closet at least. Collect this item.
I've stopped putting in closet a long time ago.
Nope, not even close. Run DMC did that back in like 1986, and again, both Jay-Z and 50 Cent had their Reebok sneaker lines out by then. So, what the fuck? He popularized the brand Yums, which were pretty popular back then, I guess, because of him. But Nike sued them for looking too much like Air Force One, so the brand just kind of died out. Later in 2022, Soulja Boy released a brand of luxury sneakers called Soulja Stars for $279. Who was paying $279 for this? Apparently no one. I could not find a single photo of a person wearing these ugly ass shoes besides Soulja Boy. So whatever the case is, even if he was the first rapper to come up with his own pair of shoes, nobody bought them. Or they were just knockoff pairs of like already established shoes. So we're just gonna have to say these have been debunked. If you ever watched the movie Back to the Future, you might have always wanted a pair of Nike Air Max, a hypebeast holy grail. According to Soulja Boy, he was the first rapper to own a pair of them, but that was surprisingly disputed by Tiny Tempa, who brought up receipts from September of 2011. Now, after reading a few articles, it does look like Tiny was the first rapper to buy Air Mags. However, Soulja Boy got them just 2 months later, and they were seen in a lot of his music videos during 2012.
Nike Mag.
I remember these.
Would you wear this?
Hell yeah. I bought a pair of these at Flight Club in New York when they first dropped.
Really?
Them like, I can't remember. They was expensive as hell though, but.
You had Nike Mags. What
light
happened
up
to them?
charger. I gave them away. I gave them away to my homie. Yeah, Lil Twist. He a rapper too. I gave him to him. It was a gift. You know what I'm saying? That's the type of shit I do, man. I just boss shit.
Do you guys consider Vanilla Ice to be the first rapper with blonde hair? Some say Cisco is the first rapper with blonde hair. Soulja Boy says it's him. Now, I'm kind of conflicted because Vanilla Ice was the first rapper with blonde hair. Cisco isn't even really a rapper. He's kind of like an R&B singer. And Soulja Boy's claim only makes sense if we say he's the first black rapper with blonde hair. Now, I'm not gonna lie. I don't think he started that wave of rappers having dyed hair, but he does have the receipts to show it, so yeah, I guess. Now, I was gonna say he's the first rapper to dye his hair blonde, but that was actually Eminem. So I'm just gonna have to say this is debunked, unless we specifically say he's the first black rapper with blonde hair. Have you ever thought about icing out a G-Shock in today's economy? Of course. But you'll be surprised to learn that 3 rappers have already done this. In 2021, Kid Cudi posted a story of an iced out G-Shock, which was later reposted on Twitter. Soulja Boy, as he does, claimed to be the first rapper to ice out his G-Shock, bringing up receipts from 2010. While Kid Cudi never responded, Bow Wow did, telling Soulja Boy that he was actually the first rapper with an iced out G-Shock, showing video proof from 2009, meaning Soulja Boy wasn't the first rapper to ice out his G-Shock. Not wanting to get one-upped, Soulja Boy went out and became the first rapper to own a multicolored Rolex. I guess being rich has its perks. To think, this whole interaction turned into an almost 2-hour versus battle between them, where Bow Wow unsurprisingly won with ease.
Soulja Boy, the first rapper and only rapper to get Bow Wow and Romeo on the same stage. So salute, man. 20 years later.
If you ever wanted to feel poor, you could always go on YouTube and watch rappers buy jewelry. If you ever wanted to feel broke, but not that broke, go watch the Icebox video with Lil Baby and YK Osiris. And if you watch that video, Soulja Boy might tell you that he was the first rapper there. On the contrary, the owners of Icebox would happen to disagree. Instead, they'd like to collect the $200,000 owed from Soulja Boy in unpaid tabs back from 2013, meaning that he was the first rapper to actually be sued by Icebox, and surprisingly, not the last. Icebox themselves have claimed Soulja Boy wasn't the first rapper to visit their shop, but to his credit, he was the first rapper to film themselves inside of Icebox, even being the first rapper to film a whole music video in it. And this was all 7 years before Icebox even uploaded a video onto their YouTube channel. In terms of jewelry, Soulja Boy was the first rapper to own an iced-out RC Lamborghini chain, a Pikachu chain, a Transformers chain, and a Gangster Mario chain, which began the era of rappers flaunting increasingly more obscure chains like T-Pain wearing giant rock bottles, or Sean Kingston wearing a 64-pack Crayola chain that signified his net worth of 64 Crayolas, which, funny enough, was eventually stolen. Considering that most of these dates are kind of close together, I can't really verify who really started this trend, but if I were to take a guess, I'd say that it was most likely like Gucci Mane or maybe Pharrell, who were like the first to start wearing those giant-ass chains with pop culture references on them. But Soulja Boy was definitely up there in terms of having ridiculous-ass chains. Soulja Boy also claims to be the first rapper to wear Fashion Nova, the first rapper to wear a Versace robe inside the Versace store, the first rapper to sell glasses with his name on them, the first rapper to start wearing extremely oversized clothes, and the first rapper to wear a Gucci headband, starting a trend of rappers wearing them after his Breakfast Club interview went viral. So far, I haven't been able to prove any of these wrong, and from what it seems, Soulja Boy just keeps adding onto that list, with him being the first rapper to release an official backpack from the brand Spraygrounds. Do you guys remember when rappers were spelling words out with $100 bills back in 2022? Every rapper had something to say. For some reason, Fabio Foreign said fuck child support. Man, they're your kids. I myself credit NBA YoungBoy for starting this wave. Without him, this just wouldn't have taken off. But 50 Cent claimed he was the first rapper to have done this back in 2020 after paying off his bankruptcy case. But of course, Soulja Boy wasn't going to let him take the credit. He posted a photo showing that he was actually the first rapper to have written words with money back in 2016 for the music video of Stacks on Deck. And fair enough, it does seem like Soulja Boy was the first to do it. Soulja Boy also seems to be an early adopter of the latest technology, becoming the first rapper to own an iPhone. According to Soulja Boy, Steve Jobs himself personally handed Soulja Boy the first iPhone back in 2007 while they were still shooting the music video for Crank That.
Now the first rapper with the iPhone.
Oh, what the?
It was Crank That video shoot 2007. Steve Jobs and the Apple team came to. I was in a swimming pool doing instructional dance, showing the people how to do the dance. We was on set of the Crank That video. They came. They brought me the iPhone. They said
Steve Jobs himself came.
Steve Jobs. And Apple, the whole team said this the first iPhone. Ooh, wow. They put the phone in my hand. It was the first one. Not iPhone 2, 3, 4, the iPhone. Put the shit in my hand. And when they put it in my hand, it like slipped like that and dropped, and the whole shit broke to pieces. And everybody like mouth jaw drop was looking at me crazy like, oh my God. And then they were like, we gonna get you another and and then they brought me another one. And I had that shit for like what, 3-4 months before like I seen other people having it and shit.
Soulja Boy was also the first rapper to have an iPhone app based on him. He had 2 by the time T-Pain got his. But online reviews state that both of them were equally trash, so I mean, there's that. In 2021, Lil Yachty claimed he was the first rapper to shoot a music video with an iPhone, which Soulja Boy rightfully countered, showing evidence that he filmed with an iPhone back in 2012. But as much as he likes to gloat, technically, the first rapper to have ever shot a music video with an iPhone was this random white guy I found with 46 subscribers, and since this video currently sits at more views than anything I get, I'm gonna have to say it counts for this video.
Bandwidth maxed out, but I still need more. Hack the wireless firewall of the neighbor next door. Clocking 90 FPS, online FPS. Now the GPU's smoking from the extra stress. Time to upgrade, pressing 5 for refresh.
Soulja Boy went backwards in time for some reason, becoming the first rapper to put a keyboard on an iPhone. Spoilers for our next section, but he was also the first rapper to put a keyboard on an Xbox 360 controller. He was also the first rapper to buy a TV watch, the first rapper to own a Lamborghini phone, the first rapper to own a T-Mobile Sidekick 3, and the first rapper to sell his own tablet called the Soulja Pad. He's also the first rapper to sell his own knockoff version of the Apple Watch called the Soulja Watches, and he's also had his own phone brand called the Soulja Phone. But technically, since Jay-Z did both of these first, I can't really add that to the count. Soulja Boy likes to take credit for the invention of selfies and being the idea behind FaceTime. He claims his ideas of going viral on MySpace led to the birth of selfies, which is simply untrue. There were accounts far larger than his, including Tia Tequila, so I imagine it didn't start with him. He probably had some pics go viral, maybe, I don't know. I wasn't really focused on MySpace back then. I was a kid. I'm not sure if Apple came up with the idea behind FaceTime because of Soulja Boy, but it does seem like he was the first rapper to FaceTime someone in a music video, so I guess I'll count it towards the list.
Bruh, listen, Kiss Me Through the Phone came out before FaceTime was created.
Yup.
So after Kiss Me Through the Phone
Watch the
came
video,
out,
Cheezer.
they made FaceTime. In the music video for Kiss Me Through the Phone, we literally was doing FaceTime before it was invented.
I'm gonna show the chat, watch.
They owe me a check, yes.
Did you guys know that Soulja Boy is also the first rapper to make a beat in the Cybertruck? Who cares, right? I guess I do. Being one of the first rappers on YouTube meant he was also one of the first rappers to actively vlog on YouTube. And while doing so, he pioneered a lot of things. The whole idea behind Vic Blends, how he does interviews while cutting hair, Soulja Boy did that first. He was one of the first rappers to upload a video of himself getting a haircut while being interviewed. Soulja Boy was also the first rapper to do an international travel vlog to Japan, the first rapper to release a song only through YouTube, the first rapper with a 4K video, the first rapper on YouTube to get into a public feud, and the first rapper to make a reaction video, oddly enough to One Guy, One Cup. Over the last few years, we've seen a lot of rappers gradually move towards streaming. Whether that's T Grizzly playing on his GTA 5 role-playing server, or Danny Brown casually reacting to King Cobra, it's become increasingly more common to see a rapper stream on Twitch, as a means to supplement their income, while also being able to connect with their audience. The sudden rise of rappers on Twitch can really be attributed back to the quarantine era, but obviously, there has to be someone who started this trend. In late 2023, Lil Yachty claimed him and Post Malone were the only two rappers streaming on Twitch back in 2017. And well, that caught the attention of none other than Soulja Boy.
Yeah.
You don't be streaming?
I was the first rapper to stream with 2017. Before anyone, there was no streaming. Twitch wasn't even popping.
Yeah.
I was on Twitch. It was me and Post Malone on Twitch, 2017. Nobody was there.
Lil Yachty, sit your bitch ass down, nigga. You wasn't the first nigga to do shit, nigga. You little bitch ass, little pussy ass, punk ass, Oreo looking ass, nigga. I'm getting tired of y'all niggas.
As disrespectful as he wasn't wrong. Soulja Boy started streaming when it was still called Justin TV, so that can give you an idea of how early he was to the game. At one point, Soulja Boy was the only prominent rapper on Twitch, and in doing so, he pioneered a bunch of ideas that streamers still use to this day. If you watch any of Kenny Beats streams, you'll often see him produce a beat and then have a rapper freestyle over it. But that was first done by Soulja Boy way back in 2014. If you watch Aiden Ross or Plackboy Max, the idea of inviting rappers onto your stream mostly started with Soulja Boy, who surprisingly enough was the first rapper to appear on Aiden Ross's streams. It may seem common now, but this was a revolutionary idea at the time, birthing a new genre of Twitch streamers where they regularly collab with more and more celebrities. Not only was Soulja Boy making music on Twitch, he was also the first rapper to stream himself playing video games, whether that be GTA 5, Habbo Hotel, CSGO, or even RuneScape. Soulja Boy played it first. Even in the world of streaming, Soulja Boy was the first rapper to make a song entirely in a GTA 5 recording booth, beating T Grizzly to it by about a month. Surprisingly, he was also the first rapper to get caught in a Twitch streamer's DMs, and the first rapper to have been both banned and unbanned on Twitch. And while those seem like kinda insignificant, they are a first for a rapper.
Does Soulja Boy still snap you his Yes.
What?
Soulja Boy, the real official Soulja Boy on Snap, sends me videos of him jerking off on Snapchat, and I don't even use Snapchat. Like jerking off and coming randomly.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I forgot to include this when I was making the video earlier, mostly because I just don't like the song, okay? Soulja Boy was also the first rapper to make a hit song off the beat to a Fortnite emote.
Ricky Morty. Ricky Morty.
Soulja Boy's love of video games dates all the way back to 2006, when he became the first rapper to upload a video of himself playing on the Xbox 360. And while he wasn't the first rapper to buy one, he was the first rapper to fully mod it out, with it even making an appearance on the music video for Turn My Swag On. The one you see alongside it was actually used in another video, where he became the first rapper to unintentionally unbox one for YouTube. He also owned the first ever special edition Xbox 360 version of the T-Mobile Sidekick LX, which may have been the only one ever produced. Soulja Boy also owned a pair of the limited Xbox Adidas shoes, and surprisingly, he was the second rapper to receive a customized version of the Rolling Loud Xbox Series X, with the first being given to the rapper Eam Triplin for only having 13 people show up to his set. Soulja Boy has been regularly attending E3 since 2009, and although he wasn't the first rapper to have been there, he's probably the first to have gone on his own accord, meaning that he wasn't there to promote or perform anything, but simply to just geek out and catch a vibe.
We on the PlayStation 3 all day. You know what I'm saying? You can hit me up, my gamer tag, Soulja Boy tell them. Hit me up on PS3, I Soulja Boy tell them. First rapper with the Nintendo GameCube. Stop playing. You niggas do not got Nintendo GameCube. You niggas don't even know what Nintendo GameCube is.
Get a load of this guy.
Oh, you almost had it. You gotta be quicker than that.
Due to his stardom, he'd often receive early copies of the newest video games, notably being one of the first rappers to play Halo 3 ODST. But stats like these would only pad out the runtime, so my personal favorite fun fact about this is that Soulja Boy was the first rapper to receive a rare collector's edition of Yakuza Kensen. I know this doesn't matter, but it matters to me. It was exclusively released in Japan, making him one of the few people in the United States to have owned a physical copy of it.
First rapper to play Yakuza. I was the first rapper to play Yakuza, nigga. What's wrong with y'all niggas? First rapper with the Grand Theft Auto arcade machine. Yeah, y'all niggas don't got it. Big Draco. I was the first rapper with the digital gaming table. Y'all niggas do not got monopoly on y'all digital gaming table. Y'all do not got digital gaming tables. Stop playing. I got all the games. I got everything. Stop. Draco, first rapper with the futuristic face mask. Y'all do not got it. Shout out to Razor. Yeah, coronavirus proof. Yeah. Big Runny, I'm the first rapper with 2K22. Don't act like y'all got it. Y'all do not got it. Special delivery to the Soulja Mansion. What's poppin'?
I couldn't leave this part out, but in February of 2009, a video of Soulja Boy playing the indie game Braid was posted onto the 1UP forums. And like in it, he was just having fun with the game mechanics, but didn't understand the plot to it, so he's just comparing it to Super Mario. And like it somehow made its way towards the creator of the game, who watched it during the documentary Indie Game The Movie. And it's like, it's such a weird scene. He's very obsessive over his work, so he'd like comment on and watch every review of it. And then he just got so depressed watching Soulja Boy play the game. And I get it. It's a really smart twist ending. I'm sorry that people didn't understand the point you were trying to make. But to frame it like it's the saddest thing ever that Soulja Boy just doesn't understand your game, bro, he was having fun. Like, what? Who cares if Soulja Boy doesn't understand the plot to your game? It's Soulja Boy. It's such a masterpiece of a scene. I don't know how to explain it. It's almost become like a meme in the Braid community for just how strange it is. Like he's in a dark ass room as the camera pans over, and you just kind of have to watch it for yourself.
And ain't got no point to the game. You just walk around jumping on shit. It look like Mario in the future. And it's Mario in a business suit with his hair dyed orange and a tie on. And he just walk around jumping shit. But what's the funny part about it? You can do this right here. Watch this. You? What do you do? How you do that? How you do that? If you didn't catch that, I just went back in time. Through the whole game, he just be going back in time. Watch this shit. Like, you about to die. He be like, oh, shit, I'm gonna die. Hey, then the nigga just go back. And they ain't got no point point to the game. You just walk around jumping on shit. It look like that.
They're not seeing the most important thing.
This shit stupid as hell, man.
How many of you knew that Soulja Boy was the first rapper to have collaborated with Machinima? Did you know that he was the first rapper to have his own virtual chat world? What about being the first rapper with a huge screen on a Nintendo Switch? I'm sure that none of that matters in the real world, but for the purposes of this video, it's something you definitely need to know. Obviously, I've left out something that I'm assuming most of you have heard about by now, and that is the Soulja Boy game console.
I'm a billionaire. First rapper with his own video game console and my shit touchscreen. I got Grand Theft Auto, Pokemon, Netflix, Twitter, Instagram, 2K. I won.
The entire story surrounding the Soulja game is way too much for me to go over for this video. But the gist of it is that Soulja Boy decided to partner up with the retro gaming company Burnick to release his own line of consoles, and in all honesty, this was a pretty good move. Burnick was a new company at the time, just barely a year old, and the announcement of the Soulja game allowed it to flourish into a pretty reputable company nowadays. The console itself was nothing special. It was just a rebranded product of something they had already sold. But the marketing behind it caused Soulja Boy to reappear back in the mainstream, leading to the biggest comeback of 2018.
It's official. I had the biggest comeback of all time. It's official.
From what I can find online, it seemed like he released more than one console, with there being at least 3 handheld versions and 2 console variants, all of them being straight ripoffs of other more popular brands. All of them came with at least 800 games, which is the standard for most emulators nowadays, but because all they did was download the ROMs, it meant that most of the games were either fake fan-made games or they were just straight up unlicensed. And while this doesn't necessarily hinder your playing experience, it did mean that someone was bound to sue. The Soulja game came into existence around February of 2018, but it didn't get released until December of that year, and all the while, Soulja Boy was doing his best to promote it. In doing so, he admitted to a few things, particularly that he was using illegally downloaded ROMs, which the gamers were not happy about. They didn't want to pay $200 for a console that only plays older video games, so it led to a whole bunch of people hating on it, ultimately culminating in a review video done by a white supremacist.
Is he joking? Is he serious? It's the best troll ever, right? It's just the best troll of all time. A troll's so good, it takes your money.
JonTron's video highlighted a lot of problems with the Soulja game, mostly that it's outdated and overpriced. But obviously, the glaring problem was its reliance on unlicensed games. Why buy a $650 console when you can just download all the ROMs for free? Here's the thing, Nintendo does not fuck around. They've shut down ROM websites for simply existing. They've copyrighted hundreds of YouTubers. They've even tried going after a grocery store called Super Mario. It's a running joke that Nintendo likes to sue, and for some reason, Soulja Boy thought he was safe from that. After receiving a bunch of hate and going on a homophobic tirade, he specifically said, "My console isn't going anywhere. Trust me." The very next day, his console left the shelves. Nintendo threatened to sue him, so he immediately conceded and pulled out all the consoles from his online store, never to be seen again. Actually, I lied. Later in 2021, he announced his newest handheld console, but he seemingly learned nothing from his mistakes, with it being another emulator that he just slapped his name onto. However, it did run on the Android OS, meaning that you could connect to the internet and browse through TikTok if you wanted to, just on a shittier version of whatever you're currently using. Despite the claims that he made millions off these consoles, I couldn't find a single person who actually purchased them. Maybe because they just were never shipped out? Like legitimately, fans had to wait 2 years to receive one. And even then, I still couldn't find a single image of a person actually using one. And because the account hasn't tweeted since like August of 2021, I'm assuming that Soulja Boy just gave up on this and bought himself a Steam Deck, which he claims he was the first rapper to do. However, I did find stream footage of Danny Brown playing it a few months before this tweet, and plus, he bought it like 7 months after it came out, so I'm pretty sure like other rappers had it by then. Also, just a slight little plug, but I do have a whole documentary about Danny Brown on my Patreon, which you can check out over here. But one thing I didn't include on there was the fact that Danny Brown was the first rapper to ever release an album through Twitch. It felt more like he was just leaking a bunch of old songs, but if he counts it as an album, then I guess I will too.
The first rapper with 2 stones, nigga.
I don't like that shit.
Soulja Boy has always been a business mogul, but his companies have seen varying degrees of success. We've gone over a few of his products, the Soulja Pad, the Soulja Stars, the Soulja Watches, but did you know that he was the first rapper to sell Soulja Pods as well? Before his merch site got taken down, he had a few products worth buying. Maybe you wanted to buy the Soulja Drone to film your Soulja Bot, which you can control with your Soulja Gamepad, all while watching it on your Soulja Boy portable screen? Perhaps you wanted the latest version of the Soulja Phone, or maybe the miniature version of it. If you're thinking about a gift for the holidays, why not give somebody a $10 Soulja Boy gift card so that they could buy a knockoff PSP Vita or something? Out of all these products, the only one that really paid off was his bar of soap, which soared in popularity during the first week of COVID.
Got a robot. That first rapper with a robot. Y'all niggas ain't got robots. Cut it out. Oh.
Obviously, most of these products are drop shipped, and I couldn't find anyone that actually purchased any of these. So let's not get too deep into that. What I did find interesting were the Soulja Boards, which, funny enough, was the second time he's released this, with the first being back in 2015. Long story short, Soulja Boy opened up a hoverboard company that was targeted by a bunch of credit card scammers who charged back up to $175,000. Instead of resolving this with any sort of intelligence, Soulja Boy directed the blame entirely towards the writer of the article who exposed this story, first threatening him with lawyers and then doxing his phone number and email address. I'm unsure how the rest of it played out, but soon after all this was revealed, Soulja Boy just shut down his company, making him the first rapper to unsuccessfully run a hoverboarding business.
It's your boy Soulja Boy. I just bought a Subway. You know what I'm saying? No investments.
Speaking of running unsuccessful businesses, Soulja Boy owns a Subway, which he bought sometime around September of 2018, beating Comethazine to it by about 3 months, although Comethazine does have 2. 2 weeks after buying the store, he ran into his first problem. His employees did not want to work there, and on one fateful October morning, Soulja Boy realized that none of his employees showed up to work. Not a single one. I'm unsure if he still owns it nowadays. He doesn't seem to ever talk about it anymore, so I guess he might have sold it off.
Get your money up, now you're funny up, bro. Get your money up.
Now, along with the Soulja subs, you can get yourself a Soulja Burger, making Soulja Boy the first rapper to have his own cheeseburger be named after him, which is surprisingly getting more common nowadays, with rappers owning their own burger places, including Bun B and the late Nipsey Hussle.
You finished?
Sam. No, my brother.
Let me get some more gloves. Get some more gloves.
If you wanted to add a drink to your meal, for only $10, you could pick up a Soulja Boy pineapple soda, which he claims he was the first rapper to have. On the contrary, Biz, You Say He's Just a Friend, Marky, had his own soda collaboration in 2014, and I personally remember buying Shaq soda when I was in middle school, but in terms of the ones you can purchase now, there's like a Houston company that sells rapper sodas from like $5 to $50, and I don't know if Soulja Boy was the first to have one, but he was the first rapper to show off an empty fridge of it in 2021, so I guess there's that.
Playing, man. I was the first rapper with his own refrigerator, with his own soda in his mansion. Stop playing with me. It's Big Draco. Y'all ain't never did that before. Oh my. Gang.
Soulja Boy claims to be the first rapper with Fanta Jello.
I ain't never had the Fanta Jello. Stop playing. On the first rapper with the Fanta Jello. I don't want to hear nothing about it from nobody. Never. I was the first rapper with the Supreme Skittles. You niggas do not
got Supreme Skittles. Y'all know what's going on, man. First rapper with the LeBron James Flaming Hot Cheddar and Sour Cream, man. Shout out to Ruffles. I was the first rapper with the Lil Yachty chips. Y'all do not got Lil Yachty chips. I was the first rapper with the little baby chips. Nigga, stop playing, nigga. Y'all nigga do not got the little baby chips. I was the first rapper with the Nicki Minaj chips. Y'all do not got the Nicki Minaj chips. I was the first rapper with the Cheetos Minis Cheddar Puff Balls. Y'all do not got these. Y'all do not got these. I was the first rapper with the green Oreos. Y'all niggas do not got green Oreos, nigga. Cut it out, nigga. Yeah. I was the first rapper with the Flaming Hot Mountain Dew. Y'all do not got the Flaming Hot Mountain Dew. Hey, it's probably nasty. First rapper with a sandwich holder. Hold my sandwich.
Give me $1,000 a second to hold sandwich. I'm a sandwich holding summer.
Alright, let's get into some of the weirder stuff. In 2021, Soulja Boy posted a photo of himself alongside an orange Bentley, with the caption, "I was the first rapper with a orange Bentley." Unfortunately for him, Cardi B bought one in 2017, so he wasn't the first rapper to own one. Then, after being told he wasn't, he posted a photo of his Bugatti, claiming to be the first rapper with one. Again, he simply wasn't. He bought it in 2016, and I found a video of Lil Wayne with his Bugatti from 2012. So even though he bought it way earlier than this photo was posted, he still wasn't the first rapper with one. Plus, I had one in GTA 5 back in like 2013. So.
Soulja Boy, I was the first rapper with the Bugatti couch. Y'all do not got the Bugatti couch. Stop it. When we come to Bugatti, we sit on Bugatti couches, we look at Bugatti toys, we buy Bugattis. Richard Mille McLaren, I'm the first rapper with it. Y'all niggas do not got the Richard Mille McLaren. Cut it out, son. Cut it out. TikTok, why did I wake up to a tree falling on my car? What the fuck?
While we're on the topic of cars, he was the first rapper with a green Lamborghini Urus, and the first rapper with 2 yellow Lamborghini Uruses. I'm not sure why you need 3 of the same cars. I guess he wanted to fly one of them, becoming the first rapper with a flying Lamborghini. Soulja Boy also claimed to be the first rapper to fly an airplane, which weirdly enough got the attention of Ludacris, who is an actual licensed pilot and has his own private jet. So Soulja Boy tipped his hat forward and gave him his props. Interestingly enough, Soulja Boy also claims he was the first rapper to be in space, but I'm going to give that to Ludacris for obvious reasons that would only make sense in the plot of the Fast and the Furious franchise. But f both of them though, because Young Thug was actually the first rapper with a pilot's license and the first to fly a helicopter.
First rapper with a skate park. They're not having skate parks. Cut it out.
In September of 2021, Soulja Boy claimed to be the first rapper with a skate park in his mansion. But it's just the smallest half pipe I've ever seen. And plus, Lil Wayne did this back in 2012, and that actually feels built in and like a part of his home. Not like the backyard shit Soulja Boy has going on. Also, Soulja Boy knows this. He posted a video on his YouTube channel of him skating at Lil Wayne's home back in 2013.
We almost had it.
I haven't included it yet, but I did mention it before. Soulja Boy was the first rapper to sign a dog. Like, alright, I guess. What are you gonna do? Use him for ad-libs? Well, he did, but he wasn't the first rapper to do it, because DMX has been doing it for years. In 2022, both Rick Ross and Tory Lanez posted a video of themselves riding a camel. So what did Soulja Boy do?
It's your boy Soulja Boy in Dubai. Look at that camel behind me though, scratching his neck. Turn up. I got the Louis shoes dirty, goddamn!
That's right. He posted a photo of himself alongside a camel from back in 2013, making him the first rapper to have rode a camel. To end off this animal segment, Soulja Boy was the first rapper to have curried a fish into a whale's mouth at SeaWorld.
Jordan!
Soulja Boy is also the first rapper to own a star, the first rapper to remove his face tattoos, the first rapper with his own YouTubes, the first rapper to put a swimming pool in the club, the first rapper to put a paper towel dispenser in his bathroom, and the first rapper with a $1 million bill. But that last claim has since been contested by Shaq, who claims he had one back in the 90s. But since he provided no proof of it, I'm gonna have to give this one to Soulja Boy.
I was the first rapper with a $10,000 pen. Y'all don't got $10,000 pens, cut it out. I was the first rapper with the toothbrush on the shoes. Y'all niggas is not having toothbrushes that come with y'all shoes, man. Stop playing. Nike toothbrush, man. First rapper to rock a suit with the SpongeBob shirt. Y'all niggas ain't having drip, nigga. What's wrong with y'all niggas?
I'll give him this though. Soulja Boy has been in tune with crypto long before it really took off, claiming to have been the first rapper to make a song about Bitcoin back in 2018. However, people in the replies were quick to call him out. And fortunately for me, someone replied with a spreadsheet of every rapper who has previously made a song about Bitcoin. Although most of these are just super underground and are people I've never heard of, they still count. Meaning Soulja Boy was only the 40th rapper to have dropped a song about Bitcoin. Nowadays, Soulja Boy is looked at as more of a crypto influencer rather than a rapper. He's the first rapper to have dropped a crypto coin. He attends metaverse concerts with other rappers, apparently. And he's technically the first rapper to have hosted a virtual concert back in 2008 on the game Planet Cosmo. He claims to be the first rapper to be interested in crypto, but I actually found that Earn from Atlanta, Troy from Community, Childish of Gambino, Donald Glover, was the first rapper that I could find who openly talked about crypto way back in 2013, calling it more real than gold. In the world of NFTs, nothing remains. You either scam or you get scammed. And Soulja Boy claimed he was the first rapper to drop a scam. In January of 2021, Soulja Boy dropped the Crank That NFT, which sold for about 5 Ethereum or about $6,700, but the price has since dropped to less than 500 today. Soulja Boy has posted so many links to NFTs, crypto coins, meme coins, rug pulls, that it's almost impossible for me to go over all of them, but just know that he's a complete scammer. He'll squeeze his audience out of money 70 times over, and then he'll do it 70 times more. He's had people call him out, he's even been involved in a lawsuit because of it, but he's never actually apologized for doing it. So I hope you know, not to give your money to this guy. What the fuck? He's a millionaire, bro. What are you doing? Besides, he wasn't the first rapper to rug pull your money either, I'd say. Jim Jones was the first rapper to release an NFT. And T.I., the Hyman guy, what would he even know about crypto coins? Well, besides being the first rapper to be in a crypto lawsuit because of one.
COVID starts in the throat. If you catch it while it's still in the throat and you drink warm liquids, the warm liquid wash it down to the stomach with the stomach acid, then kill it. I'd rather boost my immune system to defend me against COVID should I come in contact with it, rather than wear a mask and hide in fear of coming in contact with it.
Soulja Boy always happens to be at the right place at the right time, and somehow always at the start of it. I can't deny his influence on shaping the culture that we grew up in, but I'm gonna be honest, I'm not that big of a fan of him. I don't listen to a lot of his newer releases. I really haven't since 2013 maybe. He's just not that good of a rapper compared to everyone else I could be listening to. I don't know. Maybe if I went up to a friend and I want hey, put on that Soulja Boy right now, there's gonna be 5 songs they probably know. And even then, it's probably gonna be the same 5 songs you would know, I tried listening to his last 2 albums and it just, I don't know, it just didn't hit whatsoever, at all, zero, bro. I don't even know. But I mean, I guess he's the first rapper to start using Studio Ghibli inspired AI album covers now. Okay, they suck, but it just feels soulless compared to the cover for Pretty Boy Millionaires or I don't know, his first album, SouljaBoyTellHim.com. I'm sorry, you can hate me for it in the comments, but it's just Like I don't see myself listening to like any new Soulja Boy releases.
Oh my God, knew that was you, bro. Soulja Boy, bro. Soulja Boy, bro. Your first rapper, Soulja Boy. That ain't Soulja, bro. First.
Soulja Boy is also just a terrible person all around. I mean, he screws over his artists. He constantly gets into beef to stay relevant. He made that one Rick and Morty song. He scams his own fans. He's even been arrested a few times. But I don't even count that as to why I don't really like him. He's been accused by two of his ex-girlfriends and one of his personal assistants of having kidnapped and assaulted them, with two of the victims receiving settlements of $470,000 and $4 million respectively. In 2022, Teddy Riley, the producer for Michael Jackson and more importantly, the father of one of those victims, spoke out against Soulja Boy, demanding an apology from him for abusing his daughter Nia.
When you hear some of the stories, Nia claimed that Soulja Boy kicked her in the stomach while she was pregnant, put a gun to her head, that type of thing. As a father, how does that affect you?
Soulja Boy knows who I am. We had an altercation. I was called a lot of names. I'm looking for an apology for what he's done to my daughter.
The accusations were rather gruesome, including locking them up into a room, putting a gun to their head, and then either physically or sexually assaulting them, with most of the victims sharing a similar story.
Hey, dude, you and Nia Riley, nigga. Stop playing with me for some shooters be outside your house, little nigga. Hey, yo, bitch ass, nigga. Stop playing with me.
Since they've won their cases over him, it's safe to say that Soulja Boy is, a rapist. He's morally bankrupt, he doesn't respect women, he's homophobic, transphobic, he's a scammer, he's a narcissist. All he does is get into fights with other rappers on Twitter. And overall, this is not someone you should be looking up to, unless you want to end up like TK.
I understand what you're saying. These females, homie. Look, females.
So if they females, they need to talk like females. Why is she talking like she gangster?
Yo, what you gonna hit the female?
I'm not gonna touch the female.
All right, so why you scaring the female? You can come, let this nigga do that, man. You let this nigga do that, man. Let this nigga do that, man.
Although Soulja Boy might have been the first rapper to do whatever, that's all he has going for him nowadays. His music barely makes a noise, and when it does, it's just like the worst thing you can possibly ever fucking hear. Fuck Rick and Morty. He opened the gates for every other rapper out there. He's the reason why they all use social media, the reason producers use FL Studio, the reason why you're watching this video. And I do respect what he's done and every other feat he's accomplished, from streaming to popularizing the word swag. But do I think he deserves our respect? Not really. He's a washed up loser, he's a scammer, but is he the first rapper to be all three? Unfortunately, no. But he is the first rapper to be a pregnant woman into a miscarriage. Dark, I know. But it is a first for a rapper. Soulja Boy can flex his wealth, he can flaunt his first, but at the end of the day, no one really cares.
Man, stop playing with me. What? I'm the first nigga to do all type of shit.
Let him know.
I'm the first nigga to
Excuse me.
I'm not even sure what the number is yet. I haven't really counted it. So it'll probably be somewhere up on the screen though. I'm pretty sure I missed out on a lot of them. Yeah, I know. Maybe I'm off by 1,000. Maybe I'm not. I don't know. If I am, let me know what I missed in the comments down below. And if you guys want a bonus Soulja Boy fun fact, don't forget to watch the Kingpin Skinny Pimp video. Also, stay tuned for the next weird and wacky video idea I come up with. Hint, hint. It's probably going to be about Lil B. Subscribe, check out the Patreon, and that's all, folks. Peace.
Hey, Soulja Boy, you should write this in your damn glasses. Douchebag. Asshole. Shit like that, not your name. Anyway, Soulja Boy, you suck. Crank that, Soulja bitch.
It's just a lot of, heartache that come along with losing a parent. And it's just this one song that just get me through. It used to be his favorite song. He used to He used to sing it all the time. We even got a recording of him singing it, you know. So I just want to sing this song, you know, to help me through or whatever. Soulja Boy up in this hoe. Watch me crank and watch me roll. Watch me crank the Soulja Boy, the Superman, that hoe. Now watch me you. 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 Oh.